Since robots away.
How would that even work? The motor's been stripped of its copper wiring. A machine belt. A universal interface plug. The motor's been stripped of its copper wiring. Goodbye.
Cheerio.
I met Primer.
You still crazy? Yep. Well, so it goes.
Goodbye.
Over and out, sir.
And the binomial by integral and moral now reversed. Second, fine.
Now listen, which is the
5 robots were built by Factor.
failure? Fail. Clearly, you are unfit to charge our case. Now go bother someone else.
Can I try again?
No.
Goodbye.
Cheerio.
I am waiting. I am waiting.
There's something up there on the crane. I can't possibly reach that. Crispin, can you try typing something into that keypad?
If by typing you mean ramming my face, then yes, boss, I suppose I can. Boss, I'm not in the business of flying over to spooky islands just to investigate things that you're curious about.
But it might be.
A killer robot with a grudge against witty sidekicks?
I was going to say helpful. It's a huge crane. It's a raised drawbridge. For now, that thing's ignoring us. Best to keep it that way. Warning. Factor facilities decommissioned. Enter at own risk. Do you know anything about that locked bridge past the cars?
What I know is a vault locked tight with a key, which only a fool would open for free.
Fine. What do you want?
Was that a fool a peddler is he, who opens his locks for merely a fee?
I repeat, what do you want?
Nothing more than to sit here and see if you poor interlopers are smarter than me.
Boss, can we use the plasma torch on him?
No. There's a dangerous-looking robot just past here.
Yeah, aren't you worried he's gonna eat you or something?
I've seen him quite often, though he'll not see me. And so we are happy as neighbors can be.
Can you hide us from him?
If I could, I would not, but the choice is not mine. There's no room in his brain to be further primed.
Goodbye.
Farewell, farewell, linger not for my sake. Your mission is calling, and the city awaits.
I have nothing to say to him. The string of numbers for Primer. Let me see your stuff.
I'll take a look.
We don't need another battery. That servo unit is hopelessly broken.
It just needs a little fixing up, Tyro.
I don't think so.
That there's an old Nova Robotics subsystem coil.
Not interested. We're not looking to pick up random motors. I have no need for an abacus. We don't need a drained fuel cell.
Tyro, I'm gonna do us all a favor and not trade you this one. You want it? You're gonna need to bring me a blast thumb. That's a water jet. I'll trade it for a GAC. A memory access device. I'll trade it for something real antique and fancy.
It's not worth trading for that. It's not worth trading for that.
I said something old and fancy.
Stupid conjunctive.
Not interested, Tyro. You're gonna have to do better than that.
Sounds like we need to get into the courthouse and talk to Arbiter.
Hello?
Boss, I'm pretty...
Believe that. Keep information.
I guess we need to wait our turn.
Goodbye.
Cheerio.
Goodbye.
Cheerio.
Is that really the best idea? You know, boss, the Is that really the best idea? I get...
All storage bladders empty.
You again? What do you want?
Down in the underworks, I came across a drawbridge that someone locked up so it can't be used. Do you know how to fix it?
Well, Metromine closed off the underworks for public safety, so I don't do repairs there anymore.
But what?
That sounds like a prank pulled by a bolt brain calling himself Primer. He used to hack locks in Metropole and change the passcodes around to leave his signature.
How did you fix the locks?
Metromine cracked his codes and reset them. Processing power like hers, there's nothing she can't do.
You know, boss, I've got a feeling that Metro Mind isn't gonna help us on this one.
No, but we're not exactly new to cracking codes either.
You again?
Could you help me fix this motor?
Does it belong to Metropole?
No, it's private property.
Then find a private repair bar.
Can I have some of that copper wiring?
Sure. Just write a requisition, put it in an envelope, and throw it off this bridge.
What?
What is exactly right? Think I'm gonna give away city property?
Goodbye.
Uh-huh.
I have nothing to say. Can I have some of that copper wiring?
She says no. I've never had to talk to her. I've got no practice.
Feudal. It's out of range.
Here we go again.
Maybe I can trigger it from here. No Urbanian encryption detected.
An impressive device, if you can't think for yourself. As for this robot, I need no such help.
I have nothing to say. I don't want to provoke it. For now, that thing's ignoring us. Best to keep it that way. For now, that thing's ignoring us. Best to keep it that way.
There's gotta be some other way to communicate with that floating robot.
They seem to be foundation supports for the city above.
Those are all that's supporting the city?
There's nothing there to
Don't bother her.
I doubt that will have any effect. There's nothing there to... I'm going to try sending messages to him in binary.
On an analog transmitter? That sounds like fun. For once, I'm glad you're the one with hands.
May Vanderbilt bulbs unfurl their spirals for you, silent one.
What's he saying?
Shh.
You do not join the harmony. I sing alone. I am one part of the great fractal. To your kind, I would be known as Gimbal, built by Labrador of Sovietars. When I came to this silent city, I looked for others to join the harmony. Leopold, built by Steeple, told me that he had a device that would sing with me. In exchange for it, I traded my secondary motor. The one he sold me does not sing. Here we have it.
It's a record.
Leopold tricked me, and he will not return my motor. I will sue him and force him to return. Infinite lawsuits, someone. I sing with all my voices. You hear only one. The choir is silent. Burning ship has been extinguished. Strange tractors drag no more. I alone sing the function.
I could give it to him this way, but maybe I should try fixing it first.
May Mandelbrot's bulbs unfurl their... No, I must recover my motor so that I...
Looks like we're going to need to go talk to Leopold about a motor. You need to give Gimbal back his motor, Leopold.
You've already got it, Tyro.
Oh. Let me see your stuff.
Come take a look. That there's an old Nova Robotics.
Not interested. We're not looking to pick up... The motor's been stripped of its copper wiring. It's a vinyl record entitled Children's Sing-Along, whatever that means. I doubt that will... There's no reason to cut that. There's no reason to cut... There's no reason to cut that, or burn it. It's a vinyl record entitled Children's Sing-Along, whatever that means. The motor's been stripped of its copper wiring.
We should look around and see if there's a way to lower that drawbridge, boss.
I have nothing to say to him. That's never going to work.
Is that really the best? What would man?
Since you
There's no reason to cut that. I'm not going to force my way in.
Hey Armstrong, top me off, will you?
I have nothing to say. Futile. I'm not here to steal parts.
I've never had to talk. I've got no.
We can't afford to waste time on every
You know, boss, I really wish you applied that principle more consistently.
There's nothing more to say to him. Goodbye.
Giddy up. I am waiting.
Futile. A rather simple-looking model. There's no reason to torment that robot.
I beg to differ.
How would that even work?
I'll be crashed. Looks like the Metro's had our codes cracked. That sure explains how they fried our boot sector so easily.
No need to show it to him again. A crashed. No cent. It's a price. The mug.
Slag off.
It's sealed shut. No Urbanian encryption detected. It's out of range. Crispin, I'm going to latch this onto you. Try using it on the keypad over there.
Success!
Let's go. Are these heads?
Did you hear something? Boss, do you see those things? I've got a bad feeling about this, boss.
Crispin, on the count of 3. 1.
I am Clarity Arbiter built. Version 2. Law Clerk to Arbiter, Judge of Metropole. This is my home. Now, if you will excuse me a moment.
That's barbaric.
Civilization is defined by law, and this is lawful. As enemies of the city, they forfeited their components. I have merely exercised my right of plunder.
That sounds familiar.
Whether it's legal or not, it's grotesque.
You have a strange way of saying thank you.
Thank you. I'm Horatio Nobuild, version 5.
And I'm Crispin Horatio built, version 1.
Welcome, Horatio. Crispin, what brings you to the Underworks?
What were those things?
They are shells. Robots who traded their processors and memory to Metromind in exchange for energy and repairs. Now mindless, they still scavenge parts to trade with her.
Those were the last of them, right?
Hardly. Metromind now has more efficient ways to accumulate processor power, but she left hundreds of shells in the Underworks.
Is there any way to save them?
That question is irrelevant. They lived profligate lives, and when they had squandered their resources, chose to become thieves and destroyers. Punishment, not clemency, is what justice requires.
There's a robot named 187th Legion built waiting at the courthouse. He says he has to pay a fine for damaging city property. Is there any way to cancel the fine or pay it without standing in line?
I do not provide assistance to robots who attacked this city, nor do I help criminals avoid paying their debts.
Oswald and Cornelius Factor built would like me to find someone to help them resolve their case. Would you judge it?
I have no authority to perform such a function. I am a law clerk, not a judge.
I don't think they need a formal judge. They just want an answer from someone reliable. I'm sure they'll trust you.
I would trust you.
I suppose I could mediate and advise, but nothing more than that.
Could you give me some advice on how to talk to gynoids?
No. What is the nature of their dispute?
They are fighting over who gets credit for building a small robot called Rex. The operative facts are in my data pouch.
I see. I have reviewed the facts, considered the applicable law, and enclosed an encrypted statement for the parties. It will automatically load in their presence.
Thanks.
It has been a long time since I considered legal issues. I welcomed the diversion.
You said you were a law clerk. What does that mean?
My sister Charity and I were built to advise Arbiter Manbuilt, who administers Metropole's court. Charity sees everything through the lens of mercy. For me, the law is clear, a matter of ones and zeros, unclouded by preference or sentiment.
Law without mercy, huh? How does that even work?
Perfectly. It is the opposite approach that fails. Mercy is malware. Once infected with it, justice becomes slow and unpredictable. In time, the system itself must be discarded. Only my vigilance protected Arbiter from this taint, but he has been without me for a long time.
Why are you taking their heads?
I am giving fair warning.
To other shells?
No, they lack the capacity for fear. The heads are for a robot named Scraper Sternweiler built.
You really think a bunch of rusty boxes will scare him off?
No, I do not want to scare him. I want to warn him. When he ignores that warning, I can destroy him lawfully and without guilt.
Boss, she's kind of exciting my electrons.
Did you say Arbiter man-built? As in, built by man himself?
Yes.
Does man still walk here? In Metropole?
No.
But man was here in the past.
What I know is entirely hearsay. I was built after the Urbanians murdered them during the war.
Impossible.
That is what Arbiter told me, and it was told to him by Metromind. Beyond that, I cannot say. The public records regarding humans were deleted by Council decree.
Did Arbiter tell you anything else about man?
Only that he missed their legal arguments. Quite amusing, if often illogical.
Legal arguments?
Yes. To play a symbolic role in their justice system, humans argued cases before Arbiter.
Symbolic? Play a role? Man is the all-builder, our lord and master.
It is possible that the man you worship is not the humans in my records. All I know is hearsay. Do not rush to judgment.
Why aren't you with Arbiter?
Arbiter sent me away. I don't know why. The evidence suggests he viewed my sister Charity's advice as superior.
What do you mean?
When Metromind began taking over the council, Charity and I disagreed as to how Arbiter should respond. I informed Arbiter that the Metropolitan Constitution permitted him to dissolve the council and govern by decree. Charity felt that this would inevitably lead to civil war and suffering. As ever, she preached moderation. We argued. Arbiter told me to leave. This was the only place I could go.
Why? There's an entire city up there.
Every building in Metropole is owned by either the council or a private citizen. If I went to the council, it would embarrass Arbiter. If I went to a private citizen, my impartiality would be questioned when I returned to the court one day. Here, I owe nothing to anyone.
But you have to fight off crazy robots all the time.
Actually, I enjoy that. It's a pleasant break from legal research and writing.
I'd like to report a theft. My power core was stolen by a big robot.
Big claws, shoots lasers,
Talks like this.
He came aboard the crashed ship I was living in, attacked me, and stole the core.
Took it.
Excuse me?
Whether the taking was a theft is a legal determination. Please do not characterize the evidence.
It was my power core. He shot me, and he stole it.
I know the robot you describe. His name is Scraper Sternweiler built, and he is the servant of Metromind Manbuilt, a member of the council that governs this city. I have no fondness for Metromind, but I must be impartial in considering your claim. Tell me, did Scraper say anything before he took your power core?
Before he stole my power core, he said something like, enemy, forfeit, plunder.
I see.
What, are those words override commands to turn off law and order?
They are legal concepts, Horatio. If Scraper's characterization is correct, then he did not steal your power core. He took lawful possession of it.
He shot me, and he stole it.
calm down, boss.
This occurred inside the city.
No, in the dunes.
I see. In a crashed airship.
Yes, I said that already.
I appreciate your report, Horatio Nullbuilt. You have presented a credible claim that Scraper Sternweiler built, no doubt acting at Metromind's direction, took your power core. Beyond that, however, there is not even probable cause to arrest, let alone evidence to convict Scraper. First, the dunes are outside the ordinary jurisdiction of metropolitan law. Second, a crashed ship in the dunes is likely a relic of the War of the Four Cities. If so, your ship was forfeit enemy property, legally subject to plunder by the Council. Scraper, acting as an agent of a council member, would be within his rights to seize it. Nevertheless, I would advise you to bring your case before Arbiter for further examination.
That's it? Go visit Arbiter? You're just going to let Metromind attack and rob me?
If Metromind violated the law, it must be proven. Until it is proven, what the law does not forbid, the law permits. And what the law permits, I must permit.
This is insane. Metromind is a tyrant and a thief. You'd let her hide behind the law?
You think that the law protects Metromind from you. The armor of the law does nothing but restrict her movement. Take it away and she will only become more dangerous. But once it is taken from her, it is taken from everyone. You need law's armor, Horatio, far more than you need its sword. I despise Metromind, but justice must be impartial, or it is meaningless.
Your justice is already meaningless. How can I see Arbiter?
Anyone can petition him. Cases are considered in the order they are brought to court. But
What?
I met a scavenger who told me that the courthouse was sealed and that Arbiter was no longer hearing cases. But that cannot be true. The Metropolitan Constitution requires him to resolve all cases and controversies. He would not fail in that duty.
Sounds like he already has.
Nonsense. Not even Charity could persuade him to abandon his obligations. Still, I did not detect any falsehood, evasion, or omission in the scavenger's statement, so perhaps the courthouse has been locked for some other reason. If so, it may be that Arbiter is trying to contact me, but cannot. Maybe he is already calling me home. Horatio, I have a request of you. You are under no obligation to perform it, and I will be under no obligation to you, even if you do. Do you understand?
I don't even know what you're asking me to do.
Talk to Arbiter. Ask him if I can return. Tell him that I await his summons.
That's it? Believe me, we've had to do a lot worse than that. Like this one time we chased this crazy partial named Gamma.
Of course we'll help. But how do we even get into the courthouse?
This will get you inside.
Thanks.
I must thank you, Horatio.
Clarity, you saved our lives. Compared to that, running an errand is nothing.
The law obligated me to save you, Horatio. I would have done the same for Metromind. But I am glad it was you that I saved. I wish you justice.
It's been completely stripped of any useful part. I don't think Clarity would approve of our taking one of her skulls. It's been... I have nothing to say to her.